Alright, welcome to the channel. My name is The Wizard, and I would like to welcome you to my new custom Pokemon channel. So the reason why I wanted to create this channel was to shed some light and to hopefully find my people. I grew up collecting the Pokemon TCG, but not so much playing, and in my older years, I've got children now. I want to pass my love on to them. And the hobby has just gotten too expensive, so I decided that I was going to start making custom cards. And I've got a tab here that shows custom cards are typically not something to be played with. They're more often novelty items, something that you might display on like a shelf or something. There's a lot of good guides to make these things, but nothing in terms of like a competitively balanced competitive game, something that you would be able to actually sit down and play at a table with your family or friends. So I would like to show you guys just a couple of things. The first one is a program that I have come to appreciate and enjoy. So this is from the Magic community, and they have this thing called Magic Set Editor, which I have been tinkering around with for quite a few years, and it's really helpful. Not only can you create cards like you see this roaming Hive Lord here, it looks pretty much real, and there's ways that you can change the formatting and things to make it look more or less real, and I'll show you guys what this looks like in a second. But more importantly, if you go into their forum, you can see that there are other games that they support, and you can do new game development or other games. You can select either of those and look at this on your own time. But there is a Pokemon thread, so if you go through the editor, other games, and other games is a Pokemon thread option, and I'll link this in the video description. And then you can download the zip file and add it to your Magic Set Editor. I'll show you guys that in another video another time, but you can see that there are all kinds of card face templates. So for the most part, I like to live in this classic Jim Neo era. This is when I started to get into it, and that's the card template that would offer the most nostalgia for me. But as you can see, there are plenty of others, although if you go from, I believe it's Diamond, Pearl, Platinum onward, these are actually not complete. So that is part of where my tinkering comes in. And if any of you viewers excuse me, know anything about coding, you might want to tinker around with those, and then we can kind of work together to make those more complete, because this is basically non-existent anymore. The threads in this forum have pretty much stopped. So this guy, the Imp Spirit Guide, has not really updated this page very much. I believe he is the one who created these templates and had been working on the layouts and stuff for them, but he has stopped doing that, possibly because few people have actually utilized this resource, and so if he's not actually helping people, then why keep doing it, which I completely understand. However, I have been trying my hand at this, but I am by no means a coder, so everything that I have done is simply through trial and error, which, from what I understand, that's the way that most coding is kind of done. So try something, see if it works. If it's broken, try to figure out where it's broken and then fix it. So that's the Magic Set Editor Pokemon thread. And something that is really helpful for learning how to use Magic Set Editor is this this channel here, Strata, and they've got this MTG cards design. And if you view the full playlist, there's a lot of stuff about Magic the Gathering, so you might just want to ignore that piece of it for now, although if you want to learn more about Magic the Gathering as a game design template, this is actually a great playlist to watch through all the way. But there are guides in here about how you might want to do some of these things. Now, this is all based on Magic the Gathering, like I said, but a lot of this stuff, they use Magic Set Editor in order to do these. So you can see that there's even a Pokeball here for one of their videos they use in selecting their artwork for these. So look through this. There's a lot of good information here about how to use Magic Set Editor, and even in the videos where they're not talking specifically about it, they are using Magic Set Editor in order to make these new cards. So there's one about the export feature that you can do to play digitally, or if you wanted to use some sort of program that outlines and lays out the cards for printing that you can use and play in person at an actual table with your friends or family. There are guides in here about how you can do all of that stuff. And then finally, where do the card resources come from? So this is actually a better place to come for custom things, although as you can see there are price tags on a lot of these, so I'll show you these in just a second. So again, I like to live in the classic gym sort of era. So here we've got this guy, Ashfield, who it seems to be is the godfather of this stuff. He basically has every single Pokemon template on his page, and you can, obviously right here they've got a price tag, you can purchase those. Magic Set Editor has most of this stuff, and I believe he was instrumental in creating the blanks and the templates for Magic Set Editor. So if you download the Magic Set Editor Pokemon templates and all that stuff, some of his stuff is there. I don't know if his stuff is watermarked or not, but I believe he was the one that was instrumental in getting that put together. And maybe that's why the Magic Set Editor thread has kind of died too, is because everything has moved over here, and it is now for purchase. So if you'd like to, go ahead and support him, purchase his stuff. He does great work. But there's a lot of stuff here, as you can see. So most of this stuff is going to be used in something like GIMP, which is basically a Photoshop editor knockoff, open source. It's free to use, so you can just download this, go find their website. You can simply Google GIMP, and it's pretty easy to find and download. And I will definitely use this from time to time to make minor adjustments and corrections on the cards that I make. It's fairly simple to use. You can YouTube search GIMP tutorial on whatever function you want to try to utilize, and there's typically a pretty good one that you can find to do what you're looking for. So I've got that kind of stuff there, and I would like to now show you some of the functionality of Magic Set Editor. So let's open up Magic Set Editor and create a new a new set. So I've got a couple of created ones that I made myself. This EX series one that's got this scribbling on it is one that I made for dark Pokemon. There wasn't a dark Pokemon option in the original EX series, so I tinkered around with the background to create that effect. If you guys are familiar with what those dark type Pokemon that were Team Rocket or Dark or dual types, what those backgrounds look like, I just tinkered around and made those look a little bit more realistic. This one here, the Versus series, was something we never got in the United States where I'm from, so I created one basically just copying over the e-card into a new one, and then just took the VS logo and put it down there in the bottom right corner. This one also I made myself. Well, I took from one of those DeviantArt artists and created one for the Neo gyms, so that would be the Generation 2 gym leaders. Basically taking the Neo cards, combining them with the gym logo, so the gym leaders have their badges behind them, and you can kind of see those Generation 2. So this one is broken though, so I can't show you guys. But we'll do this one for now, because this one does still work. So again, classic is where I grew up and what I'm used to, where I've got nostalgia. So you can see you've got your Pokemon here, grass type. This is how it just will start. So you can change the type here. You've got all the types, even dragon and fairy, but these ones of course would not be used until much later, so this card background would not be the appropriate one to use for that. So let's just say we're going to make this Bulbasaur. So it's now Bulbasaur. We want Bulbasaur to have 50 HP. And you see that the HP number is in red, which is just like it was back in 99 when these started. Bulbasaur is the seed Pokemon. I don't remember the height or length of it, so we'll leave that alone for now. You've got weakness, resistance, and retreat cost. So this is something where you can insert icons instead of letters. So if I type a couple of letters, let's just do ERT from the top line. So you see that E and T just become E and T, but then this R actually becomes fire, and the reason why it's not F is because F would be fighting. So you've got W for water, R for fire, G for grass, C for colorless, things like that. So if I want Bulbasaur to be weak to fire, like he would be in the game, nope, not F, R. Or if I wanted to, for whatever reason, have Bulbasaur resist water, I could do that, water, and then minus 30, the way that it was back in 99. Excuse me. So you can do that. And then retreat cost of, we'll just say 1. So you've got all these options, and you can change it. You can make Bulbasaur nice and beefy, go up to retreat cost of 4, things like that. And then we can give it a Pokedex entry. I don't know if that's the actual Pokedex entry, but it sounds like it would be good enough to pass as an actual Pokedex entry. And this is actually not correct. This is not where that should be. It should be at the very top. So I will mess around with these settings to make it actually look like a real Pokemon card, but then you can tell that this is the box for the attacks and abilities and things like that, so we can give it an attack cost. So we'll say 1 grass, and that's going to be Leech Seed. We'll give it damage of 10. And then if you guys know from the Game Boy games, Leech Seed gives you healing. So let's say that Leech Seed remove 1 damage counter. So that's the first attack. Then if you highlight just the Leech Seed part of it and you make it bold, now it looks more like what the cards from 99 looked like. So I don't know how this worked exactly. I believe the actual text is changed, so the font and the formatting of the font actually takes this part and makes it bigger. So I believe that is the work of whoever put together this font. So if you look in old Pokemon cards, I've got this set here, all the way back to the beginning, and we go to base set and we find one. So we'll just use Blastoise here as an example. So this Hydro Pump, you can see is bigger than the rest of the text here that describes what this Hydro Pump attack actually does. So it's not perfect. This is actually skinnier than what we have in our set editor things. So see how these are much wider the way that this text is. So I can't figure out how to do that, to take this and make it skinnier. So I believe this is what's called the this is what's called the condensed font of this smaller text font. But I know nothing about taking the actual font and changing the properties of that. So if any of you know how to do that and would like to work on this, or point me in the direction of how to work on this, I would be greatly appreciative, and because I want to continue to work on this project. So let's give him another attack. We'll say let's do Razor Leaf. And if you guys remember from 99, there was a little bar that would go between the attacks. We'll say that Razor Leaf is just the attack. There's no extra effects there, and we'll give it a damage output of 20. So now we've got our card here, and then we can double click and we can pick an image to load here. I'm not going to do that right now just because I'm showing you guys the more basics of this, but if we wanted to create a new card and then we wanted it to be from Gym series instead, this card face right here, see Classic there, and you can go Gym or Neo. We'll go Gym, back to cards, and then you can see that we've got the Gym Leader icon right here. So we're going to make this a Koga card, and then we'll say Koga's Beedrill, which is a real card, but I just like Beedrill a lot. We'll give him a HP of 80. Koga's Beedrill is not a stage 1, it is a stage 2, and it would evolve not from regular Kakuna, but Koga's Kakuna, and then you can give it a Grass Attack, Twin Needle, which I believe is one word. Make that 20, and then another, let's see if I can find it here. There we go. Stun Spore, I don't know. We'll make Stun Spore really strong for whatever reason. Give it a damage output of 50. Again, we can take these, make them bold, it makes the text bigger. Weakness of fire, resistance to fighting because fighting sucks. Just kidding. Oops. There. And then a retreat cost of 0. And then you've got these little boxes here. So these are actually for the illustrator. So I believe it tells you that down in the corner if you select it. So right here you can see in the corner card artist name. It was down here. It disappears when I move the cursor. That's what would go there. And then right here it would be the Pokedex number, which I don't know what Beedrill's is, but we'll just say that this is level 42. So there would be some number here. It would be, I'll just say that Beedrill is number 13. I don't know if that's actually what it is or not, but you'd have number 13, level 42. That's what information would go there. Today we're going to say that Beedrill is the Stinger Pokemon. Again, I don't know the length or weight for Beedrill off the top of my head. I maybe should have looked that up before I got into the video, but we'll fix that later. So I guess that was all I wanted to highlight for you guys today. So if this is something that interests you, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if this is something that you would like to join me, a journey that you would like to join me on. I plan on starting a channel and a Discord, so that way people can chat about these things. That way I can ask questions, answer questions, and we can kind of work on this project together. So look forward to updating you guys very soon. So until next one, see you later.